Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss some of our favorite things that are uniquely the Bourbon Daily. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Kathy Cool, Luke Otero, and Katie Joyce.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, so we're going to be talking about some stuff, insider jokes, if you will, that just things that happen organically, just when you're part of a show that comes out every day. And there's certainly those things that we stumble upon and then we laugh amongst ourselves, and you really have to be in the clique, in the group to know. But we'll get to that stuff after the break. For right now, Kathy said there's something she wanted to talk about. What is that, Kathy?
So, you have skills that are perishable. If you don't use them, you lose them.
Okay.
I was recently told that you can forget how to skip.
Okay.
Not where I thought you were going with that statement, but continue.
Yeah, okay.
What skills, I'm really interested to hear Katie's, what skills do you think that you can't do anymore that you used to be able to do?
Okay.
Oh.
What?
I am certain I could no longer successfully do a cartwheel. That's probably not in the cards for me.
Okay. Agree with that. I was in Pensacola Beach this last weekend, and some people on the beach had like these spin wheel things, and it would land on something for you to do, and you'd get like a shot if you did the thing. And one of them involved cartwheels, and like as we were walking by, I was like, "Oh, that looks fun to do." And the person who was spinning it got cartwheel, and I was like, "That game's out for me." I was like, "I can't risk getting cartwheel." I'm like, "I will injure myself at this point in life."
Yeah, that's actually a good one, McNew. Not that I ever did a cartwheel, but
I feel like around age 12 and 13 is where I like topped out at those, and
that's your cartwheel highlight. Yeah. Been downhill since then.
I don't know that I'd even want to do a somersault at this point in my life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to end up in a neck brace. I want to count that out too.
I apparently forgot how to touch my toes. I don't know. That's what I'm going to leave it up to. I forgot how. It's nothing physical.
Definitely not just a flexibility issue.
No, it's not. No, I don't remember how you do it. I forget the technique.
Do I go right or left or back? I mean, just so many options here.
Yeah. I was in the car with the warden yesterday, and I've got something, and I drop it on the ground, and it's in the car seat. I can see it on the floor, and I can't reach quite down to the floor, and the car's moving, and it's like the inertia. I can't do it. I'm like, I'm gonna have to wait till you stop, and then I can take a run at this thing.
That's a little bit of a humbling moment where you're just like, shit.
It is.
I'm gonna step back and let this happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, too old. Yeah. I don't know. Luke, have you forgotten how to do anything?
Yeah, kind of like Stephanie, and more on the athletic side. When I played football, then in the off season I ran track, and I wasn't the fastest, so I would just do something that would just keep me in somewhat of shape, and it was the hurdles. Right. And
you don't do hurdles anymore, Luke?
No, it gets worse. I did it, but just the other day we had some things in the backyard, and I told the ward department I'm gonna run over these. That did not happen.
Did you walk and gingerly step or
They were
trip?
not nearly as high as a hurdle. And as I think there were some milk crates. and stuff
Right.
like that.
Oh, no.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
I feel like that's kind of tricky though, because the milk crates have depth to them, whereas
Yeah,
the
they're a
hurdle
little
is just a
wider.
thin thing. So
Yeah.
like it could be that you had the right muscle
Oh,
memory,
sure.
but you just weren't anticipating the extra depth. You know, we could give you some credit here.
Yeah.
I like her. Katie, I love you now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I do get nervous every time I haven't been flying in a while. And when I go out flying, right as I'm taking off, I get real nervous of what if I forgot how to fly? And
Oh,
because
geez.
once
That
you
would be pretty bad.
takeoffs are
bad.
optional, landings are not optional. So I get a little nervous every single time. And so I always have to do a few around the pattern to make sure, convince myself that I still remember how to fly an airplane. And so that I remember all my procedures. And I'm like, certainly I'm going to forget something, right? Like there's a lot that is going on. And so I get nervous every time if it's been a little bit. Now the FAA does have rules for how long you can go and how long when you can take a passenger, etc. But even if I'm within those guidelines, but getting towards the end of it, I'm like, what if I forgot how to fly? What if I take off and I'm in the air and all of a sudden I'm like, uh-oh, how do I land this thing?
Right.
I
Right.
just
Another
see Katie
reason
with like
not to
sticky
fly
notes
was
in the
Katie
cockpit.
Joyce.
She was like, do X, Y, Z at this time. Just reminder.
Yeah.
We have checklists, but oh man, it crosses my mind every time. I'm like, oh gosh, please don't forget. Please don't forget. Please don't forget.
That's more like imposter syndrome than
Yeah.
forgetting.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Kathy? You asked the question.
I did. So when I was a kid, I played softball. And then as an adult, I was asked to fill in on a co-ed softball game. And I discovered I can no longer throw a ball. And this was years ago.
Uh-huh.
I haven't been able to throw a ball for the last 20 years.
Huh.
I'm more of
Really?
a bobber.
Right at the ground and not
Okay.
like up where it should go.
I thought you were gonna say hit the ball because I
can hit the ball.
Because I had that issue of I played fast pitch softball growing up, did totally fine. I tried slow pitch softball as an adult. I can't do it. I cannot wait for the ball to come to me. I'm like running towards the mound, like trying to get to the ball. And so I can't do slow pitch. I've just accepted that it's a failure. I can't get the timing right. And so
Right.
I thought that's what you're going to say, but throwing, that's a new one.
Yeah, I can't throw a ball. So a funny thing about this game
Don't
that
you
I
throw
played where
balls
I
for your
could not
dogs?
throw a ball.
Don't you throw balls for your dogs?
I lob and toss.
Well,
Throw like
Okay.
that. But I was at this slow pitch softball game and I got hit by a pitch because it was coming and it was coming slow. And so I just kind of turned into it. You don't get to take a base in slow pitch.
what?
You do not get to take a base if you get hit by the pitch.
Do you get to pause to like
You
chug a
look like
beer?
an idiot for getting hit by a ball that was going so slow anybody could have moved away.
Uh-huh.
I totally would have let it hit me too. I totally would have been the one who turned into it and started to walk to the
Like,
base.
get on base. Goonk. Nope. Everybody just looks at you like you're the biggest.
Did you remember that, or did you start to take off for the base? And they're like, no, get back. You can't do that.
Well, no, I'm like, oh, I got hit. I get to take a base. And they're like, no, you don't.
Uh-huh.
I'd be
You
like,
get to go sit down.
first
and never
off,
come back again.
apparently none of you have played this sport before. Second, at
Right.
least I should be able to like shotgun a beer or something. Like, what's with this? Third,
No.
I quit.
Yeah.
This is baloney.
And
I'll
you
find a
know
new
what's
recreational
weird? They
sport.
never invited me back.
That's kind of like I did trivia with my brother once, and I was in charge of writing down the answers, and he and I had a disagreement on the answer for one, and I was real confident that I was right, so I wrote down my answer, and then they were announcing the answers at the end of the round, and they said what he said, and he was like, "Yes, we got it," and I go, and he looks at me, he goes, "No," and I go, "Yeah." He goes, "You didn't." And I go, "Oh, I did." I'm the older sister. Of course I did. Like, I definitely wrote down what I was thinking and not what my little brother was thinking. And he refused to play trivia with me for years. Would not play trivia with me. They could have open seats at their table and he would not invite me to play. He could and so until finally, like a month ago, they had an 80s trivia night and his girlfriend invited me to join. And because his girlfriend invited me, he couldn't say no. So I was like, all right. And I had just done an 80s trivia like 6 weeks before. So I was brushed up on my 80s trivia knowledge. I did great. I had a bunch of random factoids. I knew what planet Alf was from and all kinds of baloney. And so from then on, Kevin was like, "So there's a trivia night coming up, right? You want to join?" I'm like, "Oh, hold up. I was on the list of you wouldn't even play with me for how long?" But it also felt good to be invited back. So I know that feeling, though. If you do something once and they're like, "Yeah, we're not ever inviting you to do this again."
Right. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, on that note, guess what, gang? It's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with KK herself. KK, what do you got there?
Okay. I'm going to open up my Art of the Spirits bottle pick. Ooh. What did he seal this with?
Would anyone know the answer?
Wow, that was good, though.
Fantastic.
It was kind of worth the wait there. So there you go. That's the lead. So that's the benchmark. McNew, you're next. What do you got?
Don't think this one's going to do anything, but I have Coppercraft out of Michigan.
No, you were correct in your assessment. No. All right, Luke.
I'm gonna go for KK. Old Fitz, 19-year-old.
Oh, look at that.
Nope.
Okay. That was decent, but not enough though to be Kathy. She's got the lead. Katie, you're next.
I have Good Deeds whiskey. Find good people, do good stuff.
Okay. Good deeds. Indeed. The setup. Oh. Yeah, I think that was better use of a microphone for sure.
I knocked my 2-ounce glass over afterwards, though, so I feel like I should be deducted a point or two.
You didn't have to tell us that.
I know, but I'm honest.
We didn't know.
Oh, so she's got the lead, and I've got Square 6. This is the limited release from Heaven Hill, the Evan Williams Experience. Here we go. Ooh, just quiet like a summer breeze. Nothing going on there. So Katie wins. How about that?
Cheers, Katie.
You are a champ. Cheers. All right, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking Egyptian Sandcats, Bourbon Insider, information that we talk about just on the Bourbon Daily. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
This is Denny Kennard, and my altar drinking Edo is Freddie Miller. I'll drink to that.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we are talking unique Bourbon Daily things like an Egyptian sandcat.
Yes, we are. So, McNew, how does the Egyptian sandcat come out? What happened?
So we had an episode weeks prior where Steve said something about an asshole, and I looked so appalled. I looked so grossed out.
Oh, yes, you didn't like that.
All the shit you do, McNew, this word bothers you.
I said the word anus. I said the word anus. I didn't even say asshole. I said, which is a scientific term. I feel like I should have been fine with that out of anything. And McNew was appalled because I said anus.
I made the worst face. So I'm like, I just hate that word. It's just like,
so then we're running through asshole. Oh, that's right. Now I'm remembering this. And then sphincter comes up and you're like, no, that reminds me of those Egyptian sand cats.
Yeah. I couldn't
which
think
is
of
a sphinx.
I meant a sphinx. And I was like, sphincter, sphinx. I was like, yeah, that's fine. So I said, it's an Egyptian sand cat. And that is now it became the word for anus in the Bourbon Daily universe.
Right. Exactly. It's the word for anus. It's now interchangeable. So yes.
Oh my God.
Okay.
It's even on Urban Dictionary and
our dear friend Tim Sawyer added that there for us.
Yeah, I didn't even know how you do that, but he did it, so it's out there. It hasn't been modified the last I saw. It's fact now at this point. It's on the internet. I mean, yeah.
So I really like dressing up for Halloween, so I'm thinking about how I can turn myself into a sphinx, and only a select group of people are going to get the joke. Like everybody else is going to be like, "Oh,
I love it."
Like Egypt. I'm like, sure, yes, I do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We had a show about an armadillo, and you called it something about a turtle.
I thought it was. I think I called them stupid turtles or something. I had that written down for a long time. Lenny was on that show.
He was going to make a T-shirt out of it. Yeah. Never happened.
No, he said something about armadillos are smart, or they did something, and I said, "Oh, I just thought they were stupid turtles." I don't remember what the context was.
They jump when they get scared, and that's how they get hit by cars.
Yeah,
that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I didn't understand the part where they said they were smart because there's too many dead ones.
Right.
There's so many dead ones.
There's so many dead ones. Yeah.
I don't remember that one. I gotta go back and find that show. I think that's Stupid Turtles.
Stupid Turtles. Yeah. So that's certainly one. What other things do we think are just Bourbon Daily insider stuff? You really have to be
listening. Ticks on a dinger.
Ticks on a dinger.
I think I have that T-shirt.
Oh yeah, there is a T-shirt out there with ticks on the dinger. That one was actually. I said I was going to put it in the T-shirt. I actually did that. So yeah.
You did. Yeah. I think just saying episode 529 is just nostalgic for everybody who's been an OG listener, right? They're like, "Oh, yeah, we know that
one." Yeah.
So I think this made me think of this whole topic that there should be a set of coasters. So my friends we have juvenile court. And we end up with some really, really odd quotes and phrases in juvenile court as well. And so we started a list that we were going to make into coasters. And I felt like this would also be an appropriate list. Like t-shirts is one thing, but I feel like coasters that you look down on it, they sit on the table, makes you smile. All these phrases that we're coming up with would be a nice little coaster set.
Yeah. That was a good one. I like that idea, Katie, especially if you also have a party and you remember these quotes wherever they came from, and you're like, that's the kind of night you're having. Like you pass them out.
Yeah.
Like
I'm thinking like leather coasters that's like been like stamped into it. Like,
nice.
There was also, I fucking tried. Like I could not get through this ending, and I just thought I fucking tried.
Amy said that. The warden said that just the other day. She's like, I fucking tried. Just like McNew. I fucking tried.
What takes her to get to that limit? Because
she was just trying to do something and failing, and she just like McNew. Or you're trying to wrap up the show or something on that one.
I'm trying to wrap up the show, and I kept like stuttering through it. I just could not get the ending, so I just said, "I fucking tried." I stopped trying. It was done after like 3
You
takes.
did your best. You did your best.
Yeah.
Another thing that's uniquely Bourbon Daily. I mean, a lot of them, they got Patreon and stuff like that, and they'll make you VIP level, but we up your VIP-ness at the Bourbon Daily. We definitely up your VIP-ness. There's a lot of VIP-ness when it comes to the Bourbon Daily. So that's definitely an insider thing there. Wow. Kathy, what else is on your list? I know you're the only one that came in with like an official list. What did you have on there?
Well, it's the polite thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
When McNew needed her teeth brushed.
Nobody did it. I had to go to bed with dirty teeth.
Nobody.
Oh my gosh, I remember
What
that.
amazes me is everyone wants to do it now. Like they're like, I would have done that for you. Everyone says that. No one was there. No one that was there wanted to do it, but anybody who wasn't there suddenly wants
Katie
to.
and I were the first to volunteer.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's because I've been around longer now, so I've endeared myself to more people where they're like, okay, yeah, well, we got you. You just met me that
Like, this is pretty normal when we got a friend like McNew, they're brushing your teeth. Like, oh, yeah, no big deal.
Heidi's fear of suburban bears.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then the entire entity of Freddie Mills.
Freddie Mills.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All that came from the Bourbon Daily. Yeah, the legend and lore of
Royce
Freddie Mills.
invented Freddie Mills.
Yeah, Freddie Mills. Yeah, that's.
And then for some reason, I wrote down Wes hates Lenny.
Yes, that's a thing too. I don't. It definitely has a life of its own, and I don't think they really hate one another, but they've somehow played into that now. So yeah.
They very much play into it very well, also.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't think they actually dislike one another in reality. But yeah, if you ask them about it, especially on the air on a show, they'll play into it and be like, "Yeah, I can't stand them." So. That's how it is. The recent one has been Lenny's hate of sandwiches. That's one that a lot of people are talking about too. How it's very lowbrow. It's not. It's just that's like the poor man's food or something. And Lenny.
Hold up.
Yes. Oh yeah, it came up again today. I listened to today's episode.
Yeah,
I missed those.
Oh,
you can make a high quality sandwich. Like if you're making a lazy sandwich, I agree.
You cannot. That's lowbrow. Yeah,
It's children's food.
Yeah.
There was so much. So when I was in Pensacola, we were making sandwiches for the beach, and everyone else was just putting their bread, meat, cheese, putting it in the bag. And they were making my sandwiches for me until the last day when they said I had to make my own sandwich, and I was a little upset. And so I took the time to toast my bread.
Okay.
And then I put on a variety. I did both turkey and salami. And then I did my cheese, and I mixed the mustard and the spicy mayo together, and I put lettuce and then I cut it diagonal, of course, not across.
Right.
So I had a deluxe sandwich. And when I cut it with the multiple layers of lettuce, it just was beautiful. And so I walked through the condo and I was like, someone look at my sandwich. I was like, look what I have done.
Lenny would have been like, Katie, what things aren't going too well in law these days? Are you struggling? Is it? We don't get it. And it came up on a show. And then we, like a week later when he was podcasting again, we gave him the chance to take it back. Cause maybe it's heat of the moment. You're playing into it. And he doubled down. he came back at it harder and faster and more rude about it. So he doesn't
If
like
you
sandwiches.
include billable time, that was like a $76 like $75 sandwich.
Billable
Lenny's
That
giving us
pretty
a
bougie to
lot
me.
to consider, though.
yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of material from Lenny.
Oh yeah, this is true.
Great.
This is true.
And then I have to say, it's not Tim doing it, but it's Tim finding it, which is all the farts. Apparently, everyone farts all the damn time.
Yeah, that's a.
Wyatt has dedicated a lot of work hours to finding them.
If you bring that up on a show, I mean, he finds a lot of them himself, but then if you like, I think I heard something. He'll spend an hour analyzing and writing down his
Headphones on to the exact second. Like this
Right.
man is
You need to
very
start
then-
messing with him, and someone have like random sounds they're putting in, or like a fart machine or something. Like just start messing.
Or be
really
like,
messing with
or be
him.
like, that was a machine. I was messing with you. Yeah.
Yeah. But like in the video recording, like do it and then hold it up for everyone and be like, someone get a screenshot of this. I got the fart machine, like
Uh-huh.
for 12. But
Yeah.
I have an app on my phone where it's like a piano and you can play burps and farts.
of course you do. Of course you do, Kathy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't everyone?
The designer, when they're like, yes, this is my target audience here is a 50-year-old woman is who I hope is downloading this.
Kathy, I think there's a song, Burps and Farts.
Well, if you tell me the keys,
She can play it.
Oh my god.
That sounded like the beginning to Ode to Joy there. So yeah, that was
Yeah.
this
good.
so
one's called
close.
man burp.
Oh,
That's pretty accurate.
that's not bad, I guess.
That's not bad, I guess.
Yeah.
do
Another
one.
one I had on my list for the Bourbon Daily was Nutella
Okay.
popcorn.
No, yes.
Uh,
Yeah. That's a classic. I mean,
Oh my
again,
God.
Freddie Mills character. Yeah, this idea of coming up with the whole recipe and lining out how to do it, and then there's preparation of the furniture and all this stuff, and
Oh
then it
my
turns out
God.
none of it's true. None of it's true.
It was so good.
It was
Like-
so elaborate. Just
Yeah,
The dedication.
yeah. No memory of it. Literally, I shocked him when I said, "Man, that sounded kind of gross." And he's like, "What?" Yeah, that was
and then the
fun of
epic
Danny.
comeback, though, in another show with Happy Festivus.
Yeah. That's definitely a good one too. The ending where he says "Happy
Right out of
Festivus."
a blackout, comes back strong for the finish.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, the 529 is written off as Becca's show, and but if you go back and listen to that, McNew is equally as
Oh
good.
my gosh.
McNew is.
And she's
I-
like,
I-
McNew didn't pass out, but she is. She's to that point, and she's.
I feel like that one has become infamous enough that you could, it's almost tattoo level. Like to get an episode
Right.
529 tattoo.
I'm going to give Becca the credit for that one because it did become her show, but I have so many more where I am equally as messy, and I'm like,
well, yeah.
I will let her have all the credit for that one.
Yeah, well, that was talked about
And-
today when you fell off the chair and you were yelling from the floor. Couldn't
Hey,
get
I
up.
was trying to. That was early days, Steve, but I was just like, I didn't just go black out somewhere else. I still
Right.
tried.
And
It didn't
anymore,
make you
McNew
bad people, Stephanie.
No.
You can't ever get another episode 529 because McNew and Becca don't do shows together anymore.
Right.
So,
Right.
I mean, that's forever in the history books.
Right. Well, we tried to do that recently because we were behind on some shows, and we set it up, and McNew and Becca and me and a couple other people, and then Becca was no show. So we tried.
she
We
showed up
fucking
for like
tried.
the last 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, very sober though, so we weren't going to get any episode 529.
I started to feel so bad when Steve texts like, "Are you available this day?" Nope. Are you available this day? Nope.
Oh, yeah. Recently, Katie's been available though. I texted her. Yeah,
This
she's
week
good.
we've been good. I've had 2 yeses in a row.
Yeah, 2 yeses in a row. I'm, the streak. I keep the streak at work. It's
Yeah.
you know,
Going.
number of times since Katie's had
Like
to say
number
no to
of
one
days
show.
without an
Yeah.
accident at
Yeah,
the workplace.
I've, yeah, I've got one of those, but it's Katie says yes to podcasting. So right now we're at 2. We're at 2. It's the all-time record actually. So
Yes.
I'm going to go for the trifecta soon, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. In my world, this is exciting stuff. So yeah, this one was short notice because these shows literally, I mean, I got so much going on. I'm juggling. I'm barely keeping my head above water. So I had to call McNew yesterday about something else, and we're getting ready to go. She's like, McNew says like, hey, one last thing. Are we podcasting Friday night? And I was like, yeah. And then I hurried up and texted to you guys, and all of you said yes. It was like it couldn't have been any easier.
I literally like keep my Fridays open because I'm like, we've always podcasted, but I'm like, it's not on the calendar. I usually have scripts by at least Thursday. I'm like, did you like not put something
and
down?
then I mean, then even though I say yes, then I'm busy all day. I did this like at my house at like when everything was done, like 10:30 at night last night.
It was 10:30, and like I have Steve's email saved as a favorite, so my phone actually notifies me when those come in, and I'm like, oh shit, there they are.
There it is. There's the notes. Yeah, I was busy working. Well, what are you gonna do?
I will have you all know as well. I said yes to the show, and then I realized that I had another thing tonight that I hadn't put on my electronic calendar. I only wrote it on the paper calendar, and that it's a local thing for a board that I serve on. And so I told them, I was like, oh, sorry, I double booked myself. I'm gonna have to leave at 7:30 because the Bourbon Daily takes priority.
Oh, there you go.
Now, the second sentence, I didn't tell them it was for the Bourbon Daily. I just told them I double booked myself.
You don't want them listening. Yeah.
For an unknown reason. By the way, do not listen to a podcast on a certain day.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Kathy, we're starting with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at KKCastStrength.
Katie.
Woo. You can find me. Sorry, I was just finishing my drink. Woo. You can find me over on Instagram at Katie Proof.
All right, Luke.
You can find us at Santa Fe Boutique Wines on Instagram, and you can find me on LinkedIn.
All right.
Luke Otero.
Luke Otero on LinkedIn. The real deal. McNew, how about you?
I'm on Instagram at McNew ABV.
For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us. ABV Barrel Shop, St. Louis, Missouri. We'd love to show you what we've got in inventory. By the way, you don't have to just look at it. You can try it before you buy it. And if you like something, you can pick up a bottle. We've got it in inventory. So check us out, abvbarrelshop.com. Sign up for our email and text distribution. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind our audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. Finance, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with the national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.